Welcome, I'm Tracy Pa with another episode of Scope. The people from various tribes of Kainantu came out in style with their cultural and musical group, celebrating a first of its kind Kainantu Culture and Music Festival held in September. With the main theme, Our Culture, Our Identity and Our Pride, the show was purposely hosted to showcase the strong sense of culture and unity among the people of Kainantu and the sister provinces.
The people of Kainantu in Eastern Highlands for the first time hosted the Kainantu Culture and Music Festival, themed Our Culture, Our Identity and Our Pride. Show committee and residents deemed it special because it was an event that had the full support and assistance of Kainantu's youth. Having attracted bad publicity for a long time as a troubled town, the atmosphere was different. It felt safer and more peaceful. Having been certified as a recognized event, invitations were sent out to sister provinces and districts to add color and flavor to what would be Kainantu's Make It or Break It event for as long as the show can run with the support of the National Cultural Commission and the government. They wouldn't have done it had it not been for the support of the youth population from all 4 LLGs. Performing groups came from Goroka, Asaro and even neighboring Mount Again in Western Highlands, Simbu and Makam and Ramu in the Morobe province. The event featured 19 cultural groups, 22 string bands, 17 live bands and 5 art and craft groups. A group from Trouble Zone Barola participated as well. Joe Mofe brought his people from Kanampa after learning about the festival. They were excited to come along and share their tradition and culture with everyone. The committee and showgoers were a little skeptical. They weren't sure that peace would be maintained throughout the 3-day activity. However, when the second day rolled by, it was a surety that what started well would end well. Showgoer Mavis Harry was only pleased that there was a cultural event in Kainantu that will help today's children learn more about their cultures and remind parents and elders to teach their young ones the local language too. Mr. Denny emphasized on government support. He said Kainantu is showing the government it can take initiative, and especially for the youth who have been present throughout the planning and execution of the show. Mavis shared similar thoughts. There are plans for an even bigger show in 2024. Having been certified by the National Cultural Commission as a national tourism event, there is overall excitement of what's to come. Kainantu resident Stanley Turo said on the last day of the festival that he hopes the festival can bring more visitors to the district. He would like Kainantu to earn respect and a good name for itself because there are good people and good things about the district amidst the negativity. Stanley hopes what's expected in the show next year will be even bigger and better.
When we come back, Bangapela youth making headway in sustaining peace and good community living. Sports has been utilized to carry their efforts forward. Bangapela is one myriad specially casted village along the Ramu River of Yawar local level government in Madang's Bogia district. The village is one that has gained its stature of being a peaceful community over the years. Youth leader Guny Asi says it has not always been like that in the past. The youth were involved in many illicit activities that has led to a broken down society. Guny said they had to work hard for 3 to 5 years to get Bangapela on the right path again. Part of that change included customary and cultural values being deeply intertwined in the Seventh Day Adventist religious beliefs. To date, respect is a predominant characteristic that has shaped the society.
The community in Bangapela have turned to sports as a development mechanism. Sports, especially soccer, is widely played within the region. The youth in the area started up the Biang Sports Association to drive change in their area. For 5 years now since its establishment, they have hosted 3 tournaments, all coincided with independence celebrations. This year, they brought Digicel on board as a sponsor. Teams traveled into Bangapela from nearby villages as far as Middle Ramu, Upper Ramu, Bogia Station, and even Angoram district in the East Sepik province. Biang Sports Association was established in 2019. According to Guny, they hosted the first games without external support. The other 2 games held were sponsored by local businessman David Wama. Guny said political instability and differences has had a negative impact on their efforts, but it did not deter them in hosting the tournament and the bigger plan they have of Bangapela. Sports would still be the mechanism for change.
Youths, why me play running soccer? Me play no like in problem inside the community. So me play la stop him kind of say Yawar. So me play running sport, me play must stop Yawar. Man do sumuk must stop sumuk. So this la kind of something me play stop the remote area. So this la kind of something become a big play. Nungu te. So me play yet me play youths, me play scaling go no at all papa ini na lo correct me play. So me play it only man na. Me play but try lo correct me play. Lo want a good plating thing.
Justin Asi, a club representative, said the youth in Bangapela are keen on seeing sports-related activities that are sustainable. The sponsorship by Digicel in this year's tournament was only the beginning. It has served their efforts in creating mutual partnerships with public and private sector bodies in supporting their initiatives.
Okay, Mila talk thank you lo you plan lo. Sta triple game you may been play finish. Sta triple tournament belum play. No go plan nunggut dongan. Abstrata. Okay, mito thank you lo youth lo community. You play for me play outside don't man go past lo running game lo this la ground with me. You play youth walk this la game lo me play come up life. Tinggal ma. You block him come out live, so me bring him diesel come down there. Abstrata. I diesel big company, ambastalo district na province na city I think him. So me confident to bring him this like and man come there. So on top of this now diesel. Lungut next round but narapla Sunday by me request. Narapla company can lo come. Help me lo. Ground room lo running sport. Amblo sport also, narapla something. So me implementing going sport lo dis la ground lo biang. Right so ground lo biang me walk him live lo Lower Ramu. Incha lo Bogia district ya. Lower Ramu me put him ground lo biang lo. Good standard. Good standard so over takan sport me kan run him le. Tingi ma. Independence one can celebration because community belum good record.
Youth leader Guny said the youth have an understanding now that drunks and those who consume illicit drugs will not be tolerated. Since the games were implemented, alcohol was banned and all the youths were mobilized and put to work on organizing and building shelters for guests and visitors. Fees were imposed on those who defy rules, including teams both at home and those visiting. They plan on disqualifying teams if their members are caught drinking, misbehaving, or cause fights during the games.
Aim belum play mosem. Time me play on in game. Me play like in Spakman. By look in Spakman too. Bam play walking about lol. Bam play cross lol. Charge mall. Okay, man you drag na you go inside the field too. You me play must rouse you to inside the field. So me play like him a good play sportsman. That's all participate inside the sports ground.
Bangapela villagers have shown that they are resilient to change. Guny said it has not always been good, Many of the youths had strayed away because of outside influences. Now they come together for a common goal in maintaining law and order.
Aim belum pla, mi pla mas woki sampla difference inside the sports. Mi pla mas support school belum pla, housing belum pla, church belum pla, lo bam pla woki mas mi pla mangi mas lusting ti lo kata isla kain nungut. Mi pla na like nungut inside the community belum pla. Because mi pla go out finish. So mi pla youth chat ba olian lo bring mi pla comeback ken, lo inap im ting belum mama na papa belum pla lo place. So lo disla recent now. Mi pla mangi wok lo run sports. No another activity can mi pla sa interest long.
The youth often do community service for a little income to run its programs.
So work group mi pla sa work lo sem work lo papa mama or pay fee lo mi pla pay group belum pla lo work lo raising money lo working one something we mi pla like him lo activity we mi pla la making. So now mi pla start mi pla try and put on lo member ini sa lugu mi pla. Yes, all them all staff want them all big pla man. So mi pla youths all no sa busy lo mi pla. I'm thinking when mi pla mangi sana plongan. So mi pla like osem this is something and big pla something sports. Time you pla member support you pla down mo ta kain nungut goran. No another pla weekend by all leaders making. Even all leaders belum pla too all got support belum pla. Solo some side all no sa help mi pla. Mi pla just struggle lo way belum pla lo work something.
Guny said they welcome any assistance to implement more of their programs, including financial literacy and life skills trainings.
Mi pla lo work on training or this like mi pla need him kind training or some business training or kind of some SME and mi pla need him. This like kind of something time mi pla work mi pla ka money ba isi lo mi pla kan golo sa this like time mi pla work all mangi all look mo sa no mo one pla way all misi mo this all money now lo like nothing thing lo na au bom pla to public money belum mangi na one pla money into at lo mi pla sa tok lo pasin lo respect mi pla sa lusi mo sa no one pla work sa kamap.
The traditional way of life is deeply ingrained in Bangapela village. The villagers adhere to their customs and cultural practices which are passed down through generations. They come in forms of rituals, ceremonies, dances, and storytelling and play an essential role in preserving their heritage and fostering a strong sense of community. Their staple food is sago and fish. However, their forests are also full of wild animals which they hunt for food. These include cassowary, boars, kaskas, bandicoot, and even crocodiles in the Ramu River. They rely heavily on the Ramu River for their everyday needs such as drinking water, bathing, laundry, and transportation. Bangapela village has limited infrastructure. Basic services such as healthcare facilities and electricity are either scarce nor readily available. The villagers rely on natural resources for their daily needs and often practice sustainable methods to manage their resources. The natural surroundings of Bangapela village offer opportunities for outdoor activities and explorations. The mountains and valleys provide a scenic setting. The village is also known for its rich biodiversity with various plant and animal species endemic to the region. The people of Bangapela village are known for their warm hospitality and welcoming nature. Visitors to the village are often greeted with open arms and are given the opportunity to experience the local way of life. The villagers would like the government to put more effort into initiatives aimed at preserving the environment and creating opportunities for economic growth within the community. These efforts not only provide them an income, but also help in preserving their cultural heritage.
After the break, PNG RFL embarks on establishing a national women's competition in preparation for 2026 Rugby League World Cup. The 2023 National Women's Championship has embarked on a new format and standalone tournament as a lead-up for the proposed Women's Digital ExxonMobil Cup to run in 2025 and 2026 in preparation for the 2026 Rugby League World Cup. The Rugby League tournament for women has been showcasing the top-performing talent from the 4 regions. This year, PNG RFL staged a 2-week tournament as a launch pad and part of a long-term plan to establish a national competition for women in the country. The program is driven by the PNG RFL's High Performance Unit and the PNG National Rugby League competition. The Women's Championship has begun on Sunday, 20th August, featuring 4 women's teams presenting Southern, Northern, Highlands and NGI Confederates. It concluded with the grand final on September 3rd, 2023 at the Santos National Football Stadium.
The Women's Rugby League tournament under the new format showcased the top-performing female talent from the 4 confederates, Southern, Northern Highlands and New Guinea Islands. The championships highlights a new pathway and opportunity for female rugby league players in the PNG RFL system to be selected for the Junior PNG Orchids or the Senior Orchids programs.
In previous years, they've always come for a weekend of matches and they head back. This time around, we've changed the format to have it as a 2-week tournament. And we are, as part of the PNG RFL strategic plan, we are looking at having the women's version of the DSL ExxonMobil Cup. The target year is 2026, and this is the initial stage to look at. I mean, when you look at the NRLC, they started off with, NRL women's competition down south. They started off with 4 teams. I think that's up to about 8 clubs now. So that's the road we're taking. Eventually, we will have a lot more women's teams around the country. But for now, we're basing with going with the 4 confederates right around the country, Southern, Northern, New Guinea Islands and the Highlands. It was a good start. We've always had talent for both our male and female players, and it is time for the girls to step up to it, and they will get better. They've been introduced to some new skills training and how to look after themselves and all that. So it will eventually come to them. They're learning every day. We've got our high performance team really imparting that knowledge of what's been done, the way players prepare and get themselves ready for matches. So some of them will be doing the ice baths for the first time, and and that's the direction that we are taking at the PNG Rugby League to ensure that our players, for both male and female, are at the top. I guess for the women's, we're picking up again from the last World Cup performance, and we can only get better.
The 2-week tournament has also exposed teams to opportunities for proper rehab and recovery practices under the guidance of the PNG RFL High Performance Team, as well as the well-being sessions with the NRL in PNG and Queen Pads. Coaches and trainers had sessions under PNG RFL Coaching Development Manager Joe Grimmer, as well as sessions with QRL Physical Performance Director John Mitchell. Vice President DSL PNG and great supporter of Women's Rugby League, Lorna McPherson, said she wants to see Women's Rugby League grow to boost our national women's team, the PNG Orchids.
We've got over 160 women have been flown in from around the country, from every single province. It's so important for equality and for women's agenda as well, that women are seen to be in the same level as the men in rugby league, which they are. If you look at the way that the Orchids perform as well, and you look at them, they're world class. So for us, it's about, who are the next Orchids, who are the next teams, and also getting to that grassroots where we're really developing a league for women. So we're really, really excited over the next 2 weeks to have 160 females here, and from there we will then be able to look at how and what will play in the PM's 13s as we move forward, which is really the national team, which is the Orchids, of course. So as a company and a sponsor, you know, Digicel is really proud to be part of this. It really brings that grassroots rugby home, not just for men but for women. So watch this space over the next 2 weeks. We should see some really exciting games in the province.
The 2-week tournament was part of a long-term plan to establish a national competition for women in the country, and it is driven by the PNG RFL's High Performance Unit and the PNG National Rugby League competition. The championship was played in round-robin format. The two top teams, Southern and Highlands, played out in the grand final on the 3rd of September, with Southern girls retaining the trophy. Highlands women coach John Waninara said for the Highlands Confederate League's women's competition still needs a lot of help.
The Highlands Confederate, we have a couple of leagues up in the Highlands. I wouldn't know the number for sure, but the leagues are doing well, especially for the ladies. And we are trying to get the standards of the ladies up to par for the game, and yeah, the league is doing okay for the ladies especially. I have 20 players currently in the squad, 8 from Goroka, 6 from Mount Hagen, 3 from Kundiawa, 1 from Enga, 1 from Southern Islands, and 1 from Jiwaka. Yes, we've got some depth in the team. We have some old former PNG Orchids, some current Orchids in my captain, Talita Kunzil, and we have some former Orchids in Delilah Ahose, also some upcoming young girls that are stepping up to be future Orchids as well. So all in all, the team is good.
Highlands
After the World
keeper
Cup, we
and
came
current
back,
Orchid rep
we went
Talita
back to
Kunjil is using her experience to inspire and mentor young girls in the local Hagen League.
After the World Cup, we came back. We went back to the local clubs that we usually play. We went back to Mount Hagen, and we tried to play some games with the local girls up there. We know that a lot of them, they what can I say? They don't have this. They have the talent to play, but it's just that the field that we usually plays in, it was closed for a couple of while, but now it's reopened. So yeah, we're looking forward to have more girls on the team to play with them. And while being up there, we're looking forward to this the women competition that is been going on. We're looking forward to empower more women to play. Okay. I'm ready to take back my sport. We've been doing a lot of trainings and stuff. I know it's a big competition and a lot of girls are fighting for the sport, but I'm ready to give my chance to get my jersey back.
PNG RFL CEO Stanley Ondina said they are committed to seeing women and girls perform better at the 2026 World Cup. Ondina said the way forward is to improve the standard of our domestic competition and provide opportunities for these girls to play at a higher levels. Nicole Kamara, team manager of NGI women's team, said they brought a very young side across to give them exposure and compete against some elite players currently in the PNG RFL system. She said they will use this experience to develop and improve their game in the NGI region.
But I think the biggest thing for ourselves is the amount of games that we have to play. The experience, obviously, we don't have, but I know all girls Bangapela, also Tokol Sumatin, and they did the best that they could in the second half. Obviously, the experience and the know-how of the girls' or Highlands zone overtook what we have, and I think that's a plus for them. But more work on Losai Bangapela law defence. Yes, we can say that, but I think culture is a big thing as well, and a lot of parents still hold back their women folk. Miplol NGI and matrilineal society, so it's women hold them ground, and it's still not regarded so much as other provinces. But you know, with the experience and the way forward for the girls here now, the 20 girls that we've brought across, and their work and how they do in the next 2 weeks, we'll build the momentum back home. So we hope all the other NGI confederates back home start their women's competition, you know, and it's the way forward now for women's rugby in PNG.
Ondina again thanked Digital PNG and are extremely grateful to have the likes of Pacific All Sports who have been on board, driving support through the High Performance Plan and Elite Women's Pathways for the past 3 years.
Until next Sunday, I'm Tracy Pa. Good night.